Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another session, another episode of Israel 2022. I'm so excited to be here. We are here at the hotel and I have the privilege to have a very special person.
I'm so excited.
And I'm going to give her this chance to introduce herself before we proceed. In my language, Swahili, to say welcome is karibu.
Okay.
So I'd say karibu.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. So I'm going to do a short little introduction. My name is Gabby. I'm originally from California, from Northern California specifically. And I'm so excited to be on this trip with you. We're here through Passages. I'm a fellow and I can share a little bit about what a fellow is. So I already went on my trip to Israel earlier this summer, so super recently.
Wow.
It's still fresh in my mind, but I had the privilege to come back and help facilitate a trip for students. And it's just, I'm here to make sure that all the students' experience is like our top priority, that y'all have so much fun. We're also here to help you process.
Yes.
You know, because we're seeing so many sites and it's so wonderful, like we're learning so much, but it's like drinking from a fire hose, you know? So we definitely need time to process, and that's what we as fellows are here to do, to just make your experience the best that it possibly can be.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I think you have shared that part of, the responsibility of a fellow.
Yeah.
But then I know that some people wondering, okay, so what is this conversation all about? Can you share with us a little bit about Passages and the programs and just the background to it?
Yeah, so Passages, if you don't know already, it's a Christian organization, and a lot of people like to say it's birthright for Christians. So it's basically the founder or co-founder of Passages really says that he thinks that a trip to Israel is a rite of passage for any Christian, because it's just so important for us to be able to experience and see all these places that we read about. It's a place where personally my faith was strengthened, my faith was almost affirmed when I came to the Holy Land, and I think that that's Passages' really goal for you to connect and experience the Holy Land, but also then when you go back home, use that opportunity to share your story. So tell your story and share that with everyone, and then be able to serve in your community, use your experience to grow in your community, to grow as a leader, to grow as a Christian, to grow in your faith. So Passages is really focused on investing in this generation's young people, not only to grow as spiritual leaders, but also to learn to love our Jewish friends, love our Jewish community, because really the Jewish community and their beliefs are a really big part of our story as Christians as well.
That's right.
And when we take the time to look and learn and educate ourselves about the Jewish community, we can see how much we really are alike, and how much also, not only they're God's people, right? But how their story and our story can come together, and we can unite and love on them, and they can love on us. So it's a really beautiful thing that we can do, and that Passages does. They do so much. They not only do this 10-day program, so this is what we're on. We're on a 10-day program that they do. So the requirements are like you're a college student, you're Christian, and you do a couple things before you come on the trip. There's a pre-trip course in which you learn more about like the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. You learn more about like the theological part of your faith as well, which is really cool if you haven't experienced that before or learned anything prior, because the Bible can be a little bit complicated to understand, especially if you're just like new to the faith and stuff, which some students are. And Passages does a great job of educating yourself or educating students on different things regarding your faith, but also the Jewish people. So that's a little bit about what Passages is. It is a scholarship-based trip. So when you apply, you get a scholarship, and then there's a portion that you pay, there's a portion that donors pay, which I think is so wonderful because we get to see also the goodness and the faithfulness of God on this program because of all the donors that they have that allows students like you and I to be able to go on this wonderful trip of a lifetime, honestly. So I think as long as you're a Christian and you are a college student, those are the only requirements.
So like they get to you through your school, right? Because that's how I got the email, through my school.
Okay, it doesn't have to be that way though. So I was an independent applicant.
Alright.
So what I did, I was just curious. I really wanted to come to Israel, so I did my investigation. I actually I knew I had a Jewish friend, who went on a birthright trip. So I mentioned birthright earlier, but it's basically like a free trip for anybody from Jewish descent and stuff. It's really, really cool. Everything is paid for them. But obviously I'm not Jewish. So I was like, okay, how can I get to the Holy Land? Like there has to be some sort of thing, a trip for Christians. Because I also wanted to make sure that when I came to the Holy Land, it was with people that were like-minded. You know, people that could share like different experiences in our same faith. And I remember just going on Google one day and typing up birthright for Christians. And immediately passages came up. There was a full article on passages. And they had just started their company, actually. This was in like 2016. So as long as you go to college and are Christian, you're able to go. You can go on their website, and I'm sure you're going to go ahead and share the link and all that information with everyone. But they can just go on the website, apply as independent applicants, and myself, I went on a trip that was a multi-network school bus. So it was from people all over the United States. No one was from the same school. And it was really, really cool to experience it that way. So although Passages is like affiliated kind of with some schools, and they have campus ambassadors with some schools, it's not limited to just a certain school.
But this is a program strictly for students.
Yes, this is strictly a program for students, but the cool thing is that Passages is launching a new program. It's called Friends of Passages. So, for example, if my mom wanted to go on a trip, you know, she's not a student, but she's able to still pay. And the really, really cool thing that Passages is doing, and I love, is that you do have to pay for your trip, so it's not scholarship funded, but that money immediately goes to funding other trips for students. So it's used for a really good cause, and that's wonderful because not only do you get to experience the Holy Land for yourself, but you also get to bless like maybe parts of a trip for somebody else.
I think one thing that I'm also interested in knowing is you've been to Israel before, and just recently, not even long ago,
not even a full year, I think it's been like 7 months. Isn't that crazy?
Must be really nice from your last trips or your previous trips to this program that we are in this time. What's been the difference so far? What have you encountered different?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing is obviously I was a participant earlier this year, and now I'm a fellow, which is like a whole different ball game. Like now I'm responsible for a lot of things, which is really, really good. I feel like I'm definitely growing as a leader, which is great because there's always room for growth. You know, I love to embrace growth as like God molding me. You know, so I think that's definitely one of the big things that's different. But like regarding our trip itineraries or like places that we've visited or like even spiritually, my first trip was very special. Obviously my first time in Israel, like wow and wonder everywhere I go. But I think I'm really enjoying this trip because now that I'm coming back a second time, I kind of have certain expectations. I already know some of the places that we're visiting, and I was actually sharing this with somebody earlier. I'm able to almost process things a little bit easier this time, because when we came the first time, everything, you know, we're learning about so many things. We're going and we're doing so many things every day that it's kind of hard to process everything at that time. But now I'm able to kind of take it in a little bit more and process everything, enjoy everything a little bit more. Not that I didn't on my first trip. but in that aspect, I just feel even like more connected on my second trip now, which is crazy because even though I'm like helping facilitate a group and you know I have these priorities that I have to get to, but I've been loving able to connect with you, all of you, and like be very intentional about that. And it's so crazy. I was sharing this with somebody earlier. It's so funny how God does that, but I have been having conversations with y'all, and you know, I'm the leader here, like I'm here to help facilitate your trip, but I have been so encouraged by like every person that I've talked to on this trip, you know, and it's only like day 3 or day 2.
Yeah.
So I cannot wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think we are weirdos?
No.
Like our group?
I love our group.
We're so... Some of us are so loud and you know are going and we're like just going and we love it and we're in the mood to just go, let's do this,
But I love it because like that just shows how much we've already connected.
Yeah.
And the community that we've built, which community is so important, and to not only be in Israel like for the first time, but have a community while you're doing it. And be able to like not do this trip by yourself, you know, because it's such a special trip. Like we're walking where Jesus walked.
That's right.
Like that is incredible, right?
Yep.
And to have someone like-minded, have someone that believes the same thing as you, be able to like walk with you through this trip and process it with you, is something so special about the community that we have. So no, you're not a bunch of weirdos. I promise. Y'all are great. Seriously, I love all of y'all and appreciate y'all so much.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything that you would like to share with our viewers, and also to encourage anyone who ever gets an opportunity to come to Israel to grab it and like be on the next
run
flight.
with it. Yeah. Don't let go. Don't turn around. Just go. Yeah, definitely something that I think is helpful, or that I've learned, is always come with the heart of like a humble heart. Always come with a humble heart, and always come willing to serve and to just be open to what God has to do wherever you go. You know, we're on this trip and we're here, we're learning so many things, but as much as we learn so many things, I think the simplicity of anywhere we go, coming with a humble heart. We were talking, the cool thing with passages, we have lectures, right? So yesterday we had a lecture with the director of like Jewish Christian relations here in Israel. She's great. Her name is Dr. Phaedra Shapiro. And something that always stands out to me every time I hear her speak, I love her. She says, come with a humble heart. When you interact with people, when you, like, even if you might not agree on everything, even if you might not connect the same way that you do with somebody else, but come with a humble heart, because you don't know what God might want to do with you. Like, might want to use you to bless that person, or vice versa, use that person to bless you. Right. You know, so if we just come with a humble heart, also just like, Lord, do what you need to do. Right. You know, not come with like, okay, this is what I expect, this is like what I want God to do. No, just come in with a humble heart and saying, Lord, may your will be done. Right. Let it not be me. Let it not be my desires. Let it be what you have for me. And let me be content in that, in what you have for me, in the way that you speak to me, in the way that you move in my life, because he's not going to move the same way that he does in me, in you. Because we each have a personal connection with him. We each have a personal relationship with him. So be humble. Always come to the presence of God humbly, and be content in what the Lord does in you, anywhere you go.
So anyways, here, once we are by the Lake of Galilee, elevation-wise, we are actually nearby one of the lowest places on earth. Not the lowest, but one of the lowest places, because the current surface of the Lake of Galilee, if you measure it, is 230 something meters below sea level. Wow. Okay? Which is pretty much the equivalent of like 750 to 800 feet below sea level.
We are at our first location today, and we are pretty much very close to the Syrian border, I suppose. And here at my background is the It used to be the Syrian headquarters in the 1960s. There's like there used to be like a 6-day war between Syria and Israel, and this is where the headquarters of the Syrian army used to be. The Syrian military used to be back then. So we are here today. Yeah, let's go.
And once we are going to reach very soon, in about 10-15 minutes, we're going to reach our next destination, which is Caesarea Philippi, Banyas, which is located down below Mount Hermon. Okay, we're going to stand over there by a cliff, and by the cliff there's a big cave, like a natural cave created by erosion, and that cave is embraced by ancient pagan traditions ever since Hellenistic period. Of surveillance measures which are being deployed, because once again Israeli and Lebanese border is a hostile border, so it's being deployed and monitored 24/7 by the IDF. And you see it stretches further all along, and then it goes up to the top of the hill, and on the top of the hill there's like a military IDF outpost position, like a military installation of up over there. You see that hill with those antennas and stuff over there. So this is the border between Israel and Lebanon. It's like right over here.
Wow.
Okay.
let you go, what do you like to do for fun?
Okay, what do I like to do for fun? That's a really good question. I love hiking and walking. I'm someone who loves nature, so anytime I can be in nature and like just get out. I don't like being home.
Yeah.
I'm not a homebody, I'm sorry.
Me too. Outdoors.
I love being outdoors, talking to people, making new friends.
Yeah.
So just anytime I can be loud.
Yeah.
I like being loud. See, I'm weird on myself. It works out.
They put all of us in the same bus.
Right, that's why they did it. They were like, yeah, they're weird. Connect.
Anyways, thank you so much for coming in today and sharing and speaking to us. I hope you guys had a very wonderful session and enjoyed this conversation. Make sure that you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.